AITA for telling my former social worker I don't credit her for my good outcome? I'm a former foster kid who ended up with an incredible foster family who eventually adopted me when I turned 18 because I wanted to create legal ties with them. I credit them with giving me a good life after 7 years of a crap one, but I don't credit my former social worker for that success at all. So background. My mom lost custody of me when I was 5 and her older kids when they were 11 and 12. They had a different dad to me. I'm not sure what happened there, but when we were first taken from our mom, we were placed with a family member who eventually decided she didn't want us, and we were then placed in the same foster home. But my half-siblings hated me. They were always telling me I shouldn't have been born, trying to make me cry. They said my dad was unalive, and they were glad because he was crappy and that I was crappy too and I should be unalive like him. I never knew who my father was, and I don't know his name. No name on my original birth certificate. This started before we were taken into care but continued until I was finally separated from them after an incident when I was 6. I was placed in 7 different foster homes before finding my family. My former social worker fought against me and my half-siblings being separated, and even when she lost the ability to keep us together, she insisted on visits between the 3 of us. I told her how they treated me. I recorded it once with my family's camcorder, and she didn't care. The visits stopped once my half-siblings aged out of the system. It was such a relief to no longer have them in my life. I knew they hated me, and I was terrified of seeing them. I used to not eat and sleep before those visits, and my parents tried to protect me, but they were ordered to maintain the visits. Even after they ended, my former social worker would tell me I should keep in touch with my half-siblings, and she'd tell me I'd thank her one day. I ran into my former social worker recently, and she approached me and said I was one of her best success cases. I didn't want to hear it, and I told her I don't credit her for that good outcome. She forced me to endure years of bullying and verbal abuse at the hands of bio siblings who she knew hated me and insisted it was in my best interest when it was the worst thing she could have done. I told her that I hope she learned from it and does better, but I'll never give her the credit for how great my life has become. I walked away from her, and then last week I ran into her again, and she told me I had no reason to be so bitter and hateful toward her, and that I would one day see why she did what she did and understand she acted in my best interest. She told me to grow up and learn how to see nuance in these situations. I told her I wouldn't see crap any differently, and she responded that I can't keep her a villain in my story forever. AITA?